Welcome back to Afternoon Live. We have been talking boundaries over the past few months, and it's such an important topic. We are keeping the conversation going today. Here to share advice on what to do when someone doesn't respect your boundaries, we welcome licensed professional counselor Christine Babinec. It's great to see you.
I'm so happy to be here.
We've been learning a lot about boundaries in general, and then kind of what to do once you've established your own boundaries.
Yeah, how to figure out what they are.
Quick refresher on what that means and how we figure out what our own boundaries are.
Excellent. So boundaries are just the kind of agreements or rules that we want to have for ourselves and in our relationships. And they help us have that foundation, that healthy foundation. They improve trust and communication. But last time we talked, a lot of people don't even know how to identify what their boundaries are. So it's about listening to your body, it's about reading, it's about trusting your instincts, and just learning from the experiences that you have, and then starting to communicate those to other people, because people aren't mind readers. They may not know what your boundaries are.
That is so true. Okay, so we're talking about boundary busters today. Those people who kind of consistently, whether they mean to or not, push past your boundaries.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Identifying who those people are, I guess, to begin with, is the first place to start.
Yeah, and again, I think a lot of times we know who they are.
Yeah.
And you know, if we have boundary busters in our life and we don't have to work with them, or they're not people we love or care about, we might want to just go ahead and let those relationships fade. But a lot of times we don't have that choice. We have to be around people who are testing our boundaries or are pushing our boundaries, or who are flat out ignoring the things that we've said are really important to us. So then we need some strategies to put in place for those folks.
Yes, you have a great way to think about it in terms of we can't control other people. So when they're telling us that the boundaries are being pushed past, that leaves us with a choice to make, right, of how to move forward.
Exactly. So boundaries, the best boundaries that we have are the ones that we have for ourselves and are things that are under our control. We cannot control other people, so we have to make choices based on the interactions we're having with those people. So if we have taken healthy risks and we have communicated our boundaries to people, and yet they are still not being respected, but we still need to have those people in life, or want to have those people in our life, then we need some other strategies to navigate those relationships and stay safe and feel comfortable.
And you have lots of suggestions for us. I'll go through a few of them with you here. Change your own behavior. That might kind of signal them where to go next.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is kind of a two-part thing. So for me, it's think prevention versus treatment.
Right.
So we know that we have people in our lives who are always going to want to give us a hug, and we may not be up for it at that moment. So we want to communicate in advance, kindly, lovingly, but in advance, without apology or explanation, what we are comfortable with. So, and too, if we're protecting our children. So we may want to call up mom or dad and say, hey, we're really looking forward to seeing you later. You know, it's just going to be so nice. Please remember that we don't do hugs without asking first, and we respect people's answers.
Yeah.
And just really being consistent and saying things up front and in advance. And then, like you said, maybe changing our behavior. So if we're walking into those circumstances and someone's like this, we can go ahead and put a hand out if we want.
You don't have to accept the hug if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think what you're getting at, which is so important, is a lot of times we feel uncomfortable sharing what our preferences are or what our boundaries are. And so rather than having an uncomfortable conversation, we're actually hurting ourselves by putting ourselves in uncomfortable positions. So we think, oh, I'd rather just hurt myself than hurt that person's feelings.
That's true.
But then we risk not having good self-trust. We risk fundamentally hurting our relationship with this other person because we're not being honest. When we could have a really warm and wonderful relationship with that person.
Right. And the thing you said earlier too about without apology or explanation, that can be really hard. We tend to talk ourselves in circles because you don't want to make the other person feel bad. That's your instinct. But it's okay to be uncomfortable for a bit, because we're going to get to a better place, hopefully, after the fact.
Yeah, I think that's true. And also I think the discomfort that we imagine rarely happens in real life.
True.
So, you know, if we're if we have a friend or someone who we love and they love us and we say, gosh, you know, I've hesitated to say this for so long, but X makes me really uncomfortable. Do you mind if we do Y instead? 9 times out of 10, that person is going to say, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me. Yes, of course we can do that. Absolutely.
The buildup is often much more painful than the actual scenario. Okay, so kind of back to the boundary busting person that you're struggling with. If it's still happening, hold your ground, stick with your own boundaries.
Yes, hold your ground. So boundary busters are usually accustomed to getting their own way because they just come in and do what they want. And so we have to meet that persistence. And again, if we're trying to avoid high conflict, which it doesn't have to be anyway, we're just consistent. No, no thank you. Nope, I don't want that. No thank you. Just hold your ground. If you need to or want to, also take a time out. Say, gosh, you know what, I've got to run out to my car. I forgot something in my car. Oh gosh, can I use your bathroom really quick? Give yourself space to calm that body and come back into the relationship so that you don't escalate it, you know, unnecessarily. So we've got, also I think just explaining the consequences is often really important too. So, and this can be really simple, like say there's a person who doesn't drink alcohol and they're going to a party and they really want to see their friends, but they know there's going to be a lot of drinking later. They may say to their pal, hey, I'm really uncomfortable when drinking starts, so I want to come, hang out, have fun, but I'm probably going to take off when people start drinking.
Simple as that.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, keep it simple. Don't spend a lot of time or extra words making it more complicated.
Exactly.
Lots to think about. Great advice. Thank you so much. It was great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I love coming here.
Of course. And we want to remind viewers that Christine has an award-winning book called Wanna Hug. It's a great conversation starter when it comes to talking about boundaries with kids. And we'll have more information about the book and Christine on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.